Good morning. Welcome to Grand River Unitarian Congregation, and thank you for choosing to be with us this morning. Am I mic'd? Sorry. On this Sunday morning, let us remember that this land is inhabited by people who celebrate thousands of years of history here. Let us remember that we in this place, mostly descended from European settlers, have benefited from the bounty of these ancient peoples. Let us remember that we as Unitarian Universalists are called to reconciliation with those who were here before us. As we gather this morning, we bring with us many experiences. We invite you to find your place here, whether you are an atheist, an agnostic, a theist, a seeker, or not sure where you are on the spectrum. Whether you consider yourself gay, straight, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, queer, or undecided, whether you have a PhD or were just glad to finish high school, whether you have a comfy nest egg or live paycheck to paycheck, whether you are abled or differently abled, no matter what stage of life or circumstances you may find yourself in. Whatever of these are yours, whatever of them you have brought with you, or perhaps left behind along your journey here, you are welcome as you are, joining us as we strive to live our Unitarian Universalist values together. Okay, I have to interrupt for a minute because I feel like a little explanation is in order. Today is a bit risky for Jess and I, because today we tackle a subject not commonly handled from the pulpit. It's a gamble to discuss an issue that is so divisive, an issue so explosively emotional that it can polarize households, and the ensuing debate threatens to split this very community itself. I speak, of course, about the division between dog people and cat people. Identify yourself if you want to stay anonymous. But how many people consider themselves cat people? Excellent. Now, we are aware that we are excluding many other types of pets, but there's only two of us and only about an hour to get everything said. As Unitarian Universalists, we acknowledge that there are an infinite variety of pet relationships, all of which are equally valid. So today, let's talk about the godliness of animals, the pets we choose and the ones that choose us, beasts who are our joyful burdens. Today, we celebrate the curious quality of benevolent love possible only with the alien minds of a non-human species. Today's service is dedicated to that special bond of love between humans and other animals. You may stand as we sing number 324 in the hardback hymnal, "Where My Free Spirit Onward Leads."
Golden Retrievals is a sonnet allegedly written by Beau, the canine companion of poet Mark Doty, wherein Beau the dog admonishes his human friend to live and rejoice in the beauty of this, the present moment. Fetch. Balls and sticks capture my attention seconds at a time. Catch? I don't think so. Bunny, tumbling leaf, a squirrel who's, oh joy, actually scared. Sniff the wind, then I'm off again. Muck pond, ditch, residue of any thrillingly dead thing. And you? Either you're sunk in the past half-hour walk, thinking of what you can never bring back, or else you're off in some fog concerning tomorrow? Is that what you call it? My work, to unsnare time's warp and woof, retrieving my haze-headed friend, you. This shining bark, a Zen master's bronzy gong, calls you here entirely, now. Bow wow, bow wow, bow wow. Here, where we meet in community and companionship in this church, this space made sacred by our presence, let us resolve to be completely present in this room, here, for these moments, gathered for a shared purpose, to honor our covenant to one another, to celebrate the interdependent web, and to recognize the wow of now. Come, let us celebrate together. Let this flame be to us a symbol of the wholeness we seek. Its glow reminding us of the sacred bonds which link us to all people. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in harmony with the earth. Thus do we covenant together. Children of all ages are invited forward for a story with Lisa.
Ooh, welcome, welcome. Are you going to be able to see the pictures from there? We'll have to. Okay. So today's story, funnily enough, is called Dog versus Cat by Chris Gall. Okay. Are you going to be able to see pictures over there? One day, a man named Mr. Button went to the animal shelter to pick out a friendly-looking dog. Then he brought the dog home. Looks like a pretty happy dog. Across town, on that very same day, Mrs. Button went to a pet store and bought a smart-looking cat. Then she brought the cat home. However, the Buttons had only one room for their pets. They would have to share. This could have been a dangerous situation, but dog and cat wanted to be very grown up. And so dog and cat moved in together. Cat did the same with the dog quickly arranged one side of the room. Cat did the same with the other side of the room. Dog gave Cat a warm greeting, but Cat didn't like showers. Cat offered Dog a mouse-warming present. Dog showed Cat how to chase a tail. Cat showed Dog how to curl up with a good book. Their habits were very different. Dog liked to keep in touch with friends all day long. Cat liked to play games all night long.
Wednesday night owl.
There were more problems. Dog was always sniffing everything. Cat would claw anything that moved. And then there was the litter box issue. That was when they decided to mark their territories. And Dog is asking here, why can't you go outside like regular pets? So Cat made sure to maintain horrible garlic breath. Dog rubbed some party balloons on the rug and stuck them to Cat. Cat popped them with the sharp claws, nearly giving Dog a heart attack. Cat filled Dog's water bowl with hairballs. Dog poured water over Cat's head during nap time. It was too much to take. Each pet was determined to get the other in trouble. Cat used a silent dog whistle to make Dog howl in the middle of the night. Dog spread catnip over Mrs. Button's nice pillows so that Cat would go crazy. That was when the Buttons gave Dog and Cat a time out. Since they could agree on nothing else, Dog and Cat decided to build a wall to separate their room. After they were finished, the room became very quiet, too quiet. Soon, Dog began to remember all the good times they had had together. And Cat began to remember all the fun times, too. Oh, over here. They began to miss each other. So Cat sent over a peace offering. Dog replied. They each set out to solve the problem in different ways. The one day, Dog and Cat heard a strange howling outside their door. Squawk! Another pet? They could not believe that Mr. and Mrs. Buttons would wish for a pet any better than Dog and Cat. What could it be? Dog hoped it wasn't a porcupine. Cat hoped it wasn't an elephant. Dog and Cat were afraid. They agreed that something had to be done to keep the creature out of their room. Cat drew up plans to block the door. Dog tore down their wall and they used the pieces. But they forgot that the door opened into the hallway. Then Mr. and Mrs. Button brought in the cage. You see the cage under the... You think it's a bird? Okay, we're going to see what it is. It was the most terrifying creature Dog and Cat had ever seen. And it moved into their bedroom. The creature never seemed to stop screeching, and it certainly couldn't use a litter box. So Dog and Cat decided to move out. But they knew of only one other available room. You got it, outside. Cat drew up the plans. Dog hammered nails and lifted the heavy things. It's quite the creation. And when they were done, they shared a pitcher of cold lemonade.
Wait, I see the baby.
And this, let me see. The end. Now, dog has outdoor privileges, he says. Thank you so much for joining for the story today.
I love that you don't want to stop singing. That's a very good sign this morning. Alistair Reed writes, curiosity may have killed the cat. More likely, the cat was just unlucky, or else curious to see what death was like, having no cause to go on licking paws or fathering litter on litter of kittens, predictably. Nevertheless, to be curious is dangerous enough. To distrust what is always said, what seems, to ask old questions, interfere in dreams, leave home, smell rats, have hunches, do not endear cats to those doggy circles where well-smelt baskets, suitable wives, good lunches are the order of things, and where prevails much wagging of incurious heads and tails. Face it, curiosity will not cause us to die. Only lack of it will. Never to want to see the other side of the hill or that improbable country where living is an idol, although probably hell would kill us all. Only the curious have, if they live, a tale worth telling at all. Dogs say cats love too much, are irresponsible, are changeable, marry too many wives, desert their children, chill all dinner tables with tales of their 9 lives. Well, they are lucky. Let them be 9-lived and contradictory, curious enough to change, prepared to pay the cat's price, which is to die and die again and again, each time with no less pain. A cat minority of 1 is all that can be counted on to tell the truth. And what cats have to tell on each return from hell is this: that dying is what the living do, that dying is what the loving do, and that dead dogs are those who do not know that dying is what to live each has to do. It's time now for the offertory, when we count on your generosity for the support of this church and its work. As we pass the plates from hand to hand, let us do so mindful of our collective gratitude for the many who donate beyond the plate by e-transfer and auto withdrawals, by volunteering their time, talent, expertise, and presence. Every kind of contribution adds to the richness of this self-supporting community. If you are among the many generous pledgers and donors, please remember today to pick up your contribution statement from Tim after the service, since we are unable to mail them during the postal strike. The offering will now be gratefully received.
knows where it's at. Everybody's picking up on that feline beat, 'cause everything else is obsolete. A square with a horn makes you wish you were born every time he plays. Put a square in the act and you set music back to the caveman days. I heard some corny birds who tried to sing, but a cat's the only cat who knows how to swing, who wants to dig a long-haired gig and stuff like that. When everybody wants to be a cat, a square with a horn makes you wish you were born every time he plays. With a square in the act, you can set music back to the caveman days. Everybody wants to be a cat, because a cat's the only cat who knows where it's at. While playing judge, who always has a welcome mat, 'cause everybody digs a swinging cat. Everybody wants to be a cat, yeah. Everybody wants to be a cat. Everybody, everybody, everybody wants to be a cat, yeah. Everybody, everybody, everybody wants to be a cat, yeah. Everybody, everybody, everybody wants to be a cat.
Maybe not everybody. We set aside time on our Sundays together to honor the joys and sorrows, the trials and triumphs from our individual lives. We know we are living in deeply challenging and troubled times, and I know I'm not the only one who feels exhausted by it. So I hope that this gift of a service and our lightheartedness today lands with a reminder that we do have to remember to sing and laugh and dance as part of our sustenance to get through these times. So and offer an opportunity to light a candle in silence, or if there's something from your life you wish to share, and come to the microphone. Let us know who you are and how we might support you in these days. We'll light the first candle for Russell and Ellen, and in gratitude of all of those who came out to support the family at John Scott's celebration of life yesterday. I was very moved to see our community out in force for support. And we'll light a second candle of concern. I learned that Bay Miller is in hospital, and so we're holding Bay and Jack in our hearts today.
I'd like to express a joy. As you all may know, Carol Burrows has written a beautiful book. It's called Refuge Bay, and she's done an excellent job for a first author. There's a dog in there, a dog in there named Molly, and a celebration of nature and life, and it mimics her experiences with life. And I'm hosting a meeting tomorrow at my house at 1, and she's going to be there to lead a discussion on her book, so anybody is welcome to come.
Please extend our congratulations to Carol.
Good morning. I'm lighting a candle of gratitude for this amazing community. Some of you may know my dad died, and I had a most supportive table at games night, guiding me and helping me through some challenges with all of this. And I just have a heart busting of gratitude for those dear peeps. So thank you, and thank you for this community. I'm so grateful to be a part.
My name is Art. With some trepidation, Nancy and I are traveling to the United States next week to meet a new grandnephew that we haven't seen yet. So hopefully things will go well. The people we're going to visit are all obviously Democrats, but you never know what happens when you cross the border these days.
I'm Mary, and today is October 5th, and over 50 years ago, I decided not to take my vows to be a nun after 4 years of silence, and I never had a home, but today I'm getting a home. It'll be mine, and I'm going to have new winds in my sail, and I thank this community for bringing me to this. Bye-bye.
You're moving to Paris? Is
Today.
That correct? Today.
Yeah, to be in a villa today.
Go, Mary.
Hi, I'm Beth, and I lit a candle for our daughter Vivian, who's really been struggling this last month with a lot of issues, as well as for the 10,000 support staff from Ontario colleges, including me, that are on strike. This is our 4th week of the strike.
I stand with you, Beth.
I'm Corliss, and I've lit a candle, strangely enough, of gratitude and joy in these turbulent times, because I've been fortunate enough to be standing on a curbside holding a sign, support our public health, and I've been so grateful for the inspiration, the encouragement, the caring of this congregation about the serious issues that we're trying to deal with. And we will make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Corliss. We'll light a final candle for all those joys and sorrows here unspoken, but precious in our hearts. Will you join me in singing our pastoral prayer, Spirit of Life? It's in your order of service. Our meditation is written by my colleague, Julian Jamaica Soto. It's called, When Your Best Friend Has 4 or So Legs. What it means to have a pet is to love someone who speaks a language you do not. A dog will bow and prance, a cat will purr and blink, a guinea pig will giggle and squeak. A long time ago, a friend of mine had a dog with soft ears and considered herself the pup's guardian. A gentle way to think of protecting and caring for a friend. Such a small gesture of respect for a source of boundless love. The dog's long pink tongue lolling in a goofy grin. The cat, convinced that kneading and grooming are crucial to this day, a bird asking for a treat, bending a wing to wave. These are friends. These are loves. It's kind of a surprise that you should love someone so much who would eat the butter on the table if they could get away with it. And gets endless hair on the sofa when they aren't even supposed to be on the furniture. When they are called companion animals, it's such an open, tender truth. The endless cuddles and tricks and loyalty, the comfort of fingers to fur and big, adoring eyes. These are friends. These are loves. They stretch our hearts and fill them with their abundance of kindness. When they are gone, our hearts remain larger, though their absence leaves room for expanses of grief. Their love champions and companions us still.
The whole thing started 'cause it felt like fun. Other people had a dog, thought I'd get me one. Have a little friend around the place. So I went to the pet store down the street, and lying in the middle of a canine heap was a sleepy little puppy with a quiet sort of face. The next few weeks were certainly strange, between barking and picking out of names. Old Blue he wasn't, and Spot didn't really apply. So I settled on Harry just because that's how he is, that's how he was, that's how the house gets, more and more as days go by. For a time I was careful where I sat. The rug got funky and he chewed my hat. It still happens once in a while when he gets mad. But it's been pretty even after all. I taught him what I knew about playing ball, and he helped me get rid of a lot of stuff I used to have. When friends drop by for a couple of beers, we all sit around just rubbing his ears and calling him. It's been that way since he was a pup. And he sleeps in the bed, and when I turn over, he turns over, and I turn over, and he turns over, I turn over, and we get up. My life moves through different conditions. The big changes come with the slightest decisions. You're in for a surprise if you think you've got it all figured out. But whoever thought I'd dote on a pet? But looking back now, I seem to forget how I filled my time before my dog was around.
I am an unapologetic lover of dogs, of all doggy things, doggy senses, and even doggy smells. I smile at neighborhood dogs, befriend them with a fervor that can sometimes alarm their human companions. It is dogs who I will greet first at the door. It is the dog's company I seek at parties in wayward, quiet corners of hosts' living rooms. It is dogs that remind me of the best of who I might hope to become. In the words of J.W. Stevens, I aspire to become the person your dog thinks you are. From a young age, well trained by the German Shepherd who was my first best friend as a lonely child, I have gone out of my way to befriend all manner of strange dogs, a habit I still can barely contain, and apparently a habit my granddaughter has inherited. Last year, 5-year-old Leia and I boarded a busy city train for the hour-long trek from South Dallas to its farthest stop north. We had spent the day as a family at the zoo, where Leia had been mostly bored by the lions and giraffes, monkeys and hippos, any of which she proclaimed she could see better on her computer screen. I know, don't get me started. We were all tired and a bit cranky boarding the train and annoyed that we'd managed to time our departure for the busiest part of rush hour. Aboard the train, seating being scarce, Leia and I were separated from her parents and toddler sibling, and so I steered Leia into a couple of seats in the very back of the carriage, next to a set of steep steps leading to an adjoining one. So I was surprised to hear from this grumpy, bored, half-asleep child a squeal of delight. Leia pointed excitedly and jumped out of her seat when she caught sight across the narrow aisle of a dog lying at the feet of a human companion. That it was the ugliest dog I've ever seen made no difference. It was squat, round as he was long, boxer-like, lumpy, with fur colored several shades of mange. And Leia, she was in love with this dog at first sight, and me, I didn't blame her at all. I was only restrained, and therefore restrained Leia, because I could overhear that the dog's human was in the midst of a heated phone call, the subject of which I trusted was somewhat beyond my granddaughter's understanding or attention. So I did not assume that my striking up a casual conversation would be welcome. So to Leia's multitude of protestations, she could not be distracted by song or snack, I recited the parentally flavored lecture I only half believe about leaving strange dogs alone, explaining again and again, quite rightly, that dog may not be used to little girls. We need to ask permission before petting or hugging the dog. We settled in for the long ride across the city, Leia all the while making kissy noises, trying to get the dog's attention, when finally the man across the aisle chuckled and said, "Your girl ain't afraid of my dog, is she?" Relieved at the invitation, I leaned across to smile at him. "No, sir. I can barely keep her in her seat. She loves your dog." And that's how I met Corey and his dog named Daddy. Bonded by our love of dogs, fondness for the city of Dallas, and concern for the well-being of the climate, both political and planetary, Corey and I whiled away the hour while Leia and Daddy played together on the floor of the train, interrupted on occasion by smiling passengers coming and going. Returning home, Leia's parents lectured me about leaving strange dogs and strange people alone. but they know it's no use. I talk to strangers. I pet dogs. Strangers with a dog are a double attractor, and I am just wired that way. Professor Clive Wynne, a psychologist who specializes in dog behavior, says that science shows dogs have an abnormal willingness to form strong emotional bonds with almost anything that crosses their path. And they maintain this throughout their life. Above and beyond that, dogs have a willingness and an interest to interact with strangers. In his book, Dog is Love, Wynne writes, "A lot of dog lovers have known all along that researchers were barking up the wrong tree when they insisted that dogs' specialness lies in their smarts, not their hearts. Science, at last, is catching up. Dogs have an exaggerated, ebullient, perhaps even excessive capacity to form affectionate relationships with members of other species. This capacity is so great that if we saw it in one of our own kind, we would consider it quite strange, pathological even. In my scientific writing, where I am obliged to use technical language, I call this abnormal behavior hypersociability. But as a dog lover who cares deeply about animals and their welfare, I see absolutely no reason we shouldn't just call it love. In the practice of loving kindness meditation, a spiritual exercise designed to cultivate compassion for ourselves and others, we offer the instruction to center ourselves by imagining a past experience of unconditional love. For many of us who come from families where that experience has little precedent, we suggest bringing to heart and mind the love we share for a non-human companion. Can you take a minute and bring that to mind now? In your mind's eye, hold the image of a beloved animal. As you breathe in and out, hold in your heart the feelings of compassion, care, trust, and vulnerability you share with that non-human companion. Remember that love as precious. A love that reminds us not just of our capability of love, but that we ourselves are indeed worthy of love. Dog love is the best love. Dogs teach us to be fully present in the moment, open to the wow of now, to be attentive to all of our senses for clues and cues, attuned to our environment, to stay engaged with our needs, to eat, to play, to rest, to be, to reach for the intuitive beyond spoken words, trusting symbiosis with other beings alike and unalike, to be receptive to belonging, to be part of the pack, a community of chosen family for comfort and companionship, for protection and play. Thus, dogs are a model of our universalist spirit to love and welcome all, no exceptions. bow to the wow. I rest my case.
I love that dog, the way he runs up to me when I call, the way he chases his favorite red rubber ball. I love that dog, the way he'll chase his tail all over the place, how he stands up on his hind legs and licks my face. I love that dog. Maybe he's a little bad sometimes. Maybe he barks too loud at night. Maybe he chases cats over the fence, but he's not the kind that growls, and he's not the kind that bites. I love that dog, the way he catches a frisbee when he leaps, the way his eyes and paws flutter sometimes when he sleeps. I love that dog, the way he puts his wet nose in my hand. When I tell him my problems, he always understands. I love that dog. Maybe he's a little bad sometimes. Maybe he barks too loud at night. That's not so bad. Maybe he chases cats over the fence, but he's not the kind that growls, and he's not the kind that bites. And on those days when it feels like I haven't got a friend, he's so glad to see me that he wags his whole back end. I love that dog, the way he smiles when I pat his head, the way he curls up and snores some nights by my bed. I love that dog, oh yeah I do. I love that dog, oh yeah I do. I love that dog, yes I do. I love that dog.
It doesn't have to be profound, she said. It can just be sweet and silly, she said. I believed her. So don't get me wrong, I like dogs. I've had little doggy children in the past, but my true life with pets began when I became a cat mom. My parents were not really pet people. They probably thought they had enough of a zoo with 4 of us kids running around, but occasionally a pet would end up with us for a brief time. There was a turtle, some ducklings, a dog. My youngest sister had a knack for finding discarded kittens. But for one reason or another, they never stayed very long, and they were family pets, not my pets. My first chance to be an actual pet parent came when, as newly married young adults, my first spouse and I had 2 very sweet but kind of goofy Cocker Spaniels. One was a wedding gift. The other was appropriated from my brother-in-law when he asked us to take care of his puppy while he looked for a new place to live. When he finally found the place, we wouldn't give the dog back. He did have visiting rights, though. However, after a few years, we realized we were going to be apartment dwellers for the foreseeable future, and that it was unfair to the dogs to keep them cooped up in our tiny kitchen while we were at work all day. So they went to live on a farm. You know what that means, right? But not really. It was a real farm, and they really went to live there. A friend of a friend had a farm with several dogs already, and they were happy to add to the bunch. When my son was young, he really wanted a pet. I think any type of animal would do. He just wanted a pet. I kept putting him off. They're too much trouble, they're expensive, I'm too busy, and so on and so on. Then one day, while I was working, I got a call from my mother-in-law, who was picking Daniel up from writing lessons that she had gifted him. She said, "We're at the barn and there's a litter of kittens." I'm pretty sure I made a face. She said, "The horse people are giving them away for free." I'm pretty sure I heaved a heavy sigh. She said, "Daniel really, really wants a kitten." I caved. When I got home, there were 2 kittens. Daniel was afraid that if he took just one, it would be lonely. And that's how we met Goldie and Creamy. As much as I dreaded the extra responsibility, they were so cute. Tiny little balls of fluff with big bright eyes. They were curious about everything. They liked to park themselves at the foot of my bed, one on each side. As they watched whatever was going on, they turned their little heads to follow the action. Both little faces swinging back and forth in tandem, as if there were a string tying them together. I could regale you for hours about their antics. Like how Creamy used to hide around a corner and leap on Goldie as she trotted down the hall, or how they liked to lay on top of me to watch TV, or how... All right, I'll move on. Daniel joined the U.S. Marine Corps right about the time my wife Lori and I got married. And since Daniel couldn't take care of the cats, naturally they came with me when I moved to Canada. They were not impressed with the drive from Texas to Ontario. But once they got here, they warmed up to the house pretty quickly. They particularly enjoyed having stairs to run up and down. They also warmed up to Lori pretty quickly, so warm that they preferred her to me. Spoiler alert, our new cats like her better too. She's the cat whisperer, and I'm not bitter. Now, I'll be the first to tell you that cats do come with their own challenges. Some of them like to scratch furniture. Some of them like to knock things off your desk if they think you aren't paying them enough attention. And the old saying, dogs have owners, cats have staff, is very true. And yet, there's just something about them that pulls at your heartstrings. We had many happy years with Goldie and Creamy, but sadly they were not immortal. After losing Goldie, we got Roxy. We didn't want Creamy to be lonely, but I don't think she was very impressed. Roxy was quite a little scamp as a kitten. If you tried to share a toy with her, she'd grab it and run downstairs to hide it in the basement. She drove Creamy crazy because all Roxy wanted to do was play, and Creamy was more of a sit around and look pretty cat. As Roxy got older, though, she became very shy. The folks who feed them when we go on vacation accuse us of making up a pretend cat because they never see her while they're at the house. After Creamy was gone, we were thinking about getting another cat when a friend told us about a kitten that had wandered up to another friend's house and that they were looking for a home for it. We drove out to the house and immediately fell in love with Piper. From the beginning, she's been a fearless little thing, always looking for the next adventure. Now, being fearless has its downsides. Not being at all afraid of anything can get you into a lot of trouble. Piper has several nicknames. The most popular is Bratty McBratface. Or if we're in a literary mood, Bradicus Finch. For all their little quirks, there's something inherently comforting about cuddling a cat. When they trust you enough to fall asleep in your lap, when you can hear their purring under your ear as you hug them, it just brings out all the feelings. But it's not just an emotional thing. Scientific studies have shown that having a cat reduces stress and anxiety as well as lowering blood pressure. So I was chatting with Ida Fisher yesterday about her experience with cats and dogs, and I found out some interesting, fascinating information. Did you know that Ida used to run a cat house? She told me. Okay, the more proper name is registered cattery. She raised, showed, and sold Siamese cats to put herself through school. Then while teaching, she raised, showed, and sold Irish wolfhounds. Now, Ida has a lot of great stories to tell about those days that I don't have time to tell you, so you'll want to be sure to ask her about them. But I wanted to mention this because of what she said when I asked, after having such close relationships with cats and dogs, which one was your favorite? Her answer was, my favorite was whichever one I was involved with at the time. I love that answer. It speaks to the relationships we can build with cats or dogs. It's inclusive and particular at the same time. We can be cat people or dog people or cat and dog people or fish or salamander people too. What we have in common is our love for something so different from ourselves that they aren't even our species. But as beautiful as that is, I am going to leave you with the top 5 reasons that cats are better pets than dogs. They are low maintenance. They are affectionate. They are quiet, mostly, and self-cleaning. And the number one reason that cats are the best is that you don't have to go out in the dark, the cold, the rain, or the snow to let them do their business. You can't beat that. You may stand as we sing number 203 in the hardcover hymnal, All Creatures of the Earth and Sky.
As we close our case for dogs or cats, or dogs and cats, let us heed the wisdom of Groucho Marx, who said, outside of a dog, a book is a man's best friend. Inside of a dog, it is too dark to read. Let the people say, bow wow!
You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles from your nice warm bed, just remember what your old pal said, yeah. You've got a friend in me, that's right. You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. You got troubles, I got mine too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. We stick together, we can see it through, 'cause you've got a friend in me, that's right. You've got a friend in me. Some other folks may be a little bit smarter than I am, bigger and stronger too, but none of them can ever love you the way that I do. It's just me and you. As the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny, 'cause you've got a friend in me, that's right. You've got a friend